Hello again. Here's going to be an update today about my motorized Bachmann N-scale turntable. You go online, there's not a whole lot of information about these. Bachmann is pretty vague. It comes with a little DC motor controller switch. It says it's DCC compatible. The only review I found online is it only works with the Bachmann system. You try to put a regular decoder from generic and a function decoder and run it with like my NCE or some other DCC system, it won't work. So how am I going to automate that? Here's how I'm going to attempt to do it. So I took apart the turntable direction control, which was just a little switch that you switch back and forth, and it has a spring center to shut it off. So direction 1, direction 2. So I unsoldered that switch, put the 4 wires into the appropriate slot. So just so you know, it's 2 center contacts are plus minus. And then of course it's direction 1, and then it reverses direction 2. The way I've set this up, of course, is the outputs will go through 2 sets of relays, which will reverse the plus minus polarity and send it back to this. And of course the side of this plugs into the turntable itself up there. So I had to fuse this, because what would happen if both these relays were on at the same time, you would have a dead short to the plus minus. So the fuse is necessary. The third relay is actually a safety relay, so it would be impossible to actually have both relays on at the same time. However, mechanical failure, if one of these contacts welded shut, you could have a short. So thus the fuse. But this is actually a safety relay, so it's physically impossible to activate both relays at the same time. And of course, I'm going to have in software, you cannot activate both relays at the same time. Also, I have a feedback loop that I'm going to feed, and these are the contacts that will feed back to the PLC control system that knows which relay is turned on, and actually that feedback loop will also be a software block. So it's kind of like a triple redundancy. We'll see how that works out. So I'm going to install this and we'll see if this works. So here's the finished turntable. Of course, it doesn't look much different on the top, but under the table I've now installed all the relays, wired them in, pulled wires under the table. And by the way, there's my control system, PLC. So we're going to the touch screen, and I have buttons that I can activate. And when I activate them, you can see that it's all automated, a single touch, and it'll do 1 click. What I don't have, and I'm going to look into doing, is if I can put a sensor, I'm not sure what kind of sensor, but maybe I can get feedback so I know exactly what position that is in, and use that so 1 click touching can be 1 click to, I can actually select a track on the graphic and it'll just automatically turn to that. I don't know, I'm going to investigate doing that, but it's automated. I can do it from the touchscreen.